Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Hello every student. This is second hour English class meeting. Okay? As usual, before our lesson begins, let's we pray together. Pray together, please. Right. Last week, I told you to learn about narrative text. Now, I want to explain about narrative text first. Okay, narrative text is a type of text in English to tell a story that has a chronological sequence of events that are interconnected. The purpose of this text is to entertain the reader about a story or short story. Narrative text structure. The structure of the narrative text focuses on a series of stages that are proposed to build a text on its own. In general, there are 4 stages in narrative text, namely, first, orientation. Orientation, also called introduction, contains about who, when, where a story is set. The second, complication. Complication tells the beginning of the problem that causes the peak of the problem, or what is commonly known as a climax. As the climax. Example of narrative text, namely the story of Cinderella, Snow White, and anything else. Okay, well, so far have any question? If not, we continue with the recount text. Recount text is a story in the form of a narrative and tells about what happened in the past. Personal experience recount text is a type of recount text or story based on the personal experience of the author. This personal experience can be anything, such as an experience that is funny, sad, or scary, and anything else. The structure of text recount. First, orientation. This section tells the background of the story. For example, who was involved, where the event or incident took place, and when it happened. The second is event. This section covers the incident in detail, namely the how and why the story happened. Third, reorientation. This section closes the story, usually in the form of writers' comment about the experiences they experience. Language element. The use of the simple past tense. Recount text is synonymous with simple past tense because it recounts what has happened in the past. For example, I went to the zoo. I met my old friend and others. Okay, next week you guys are looking for another example of either descriptive text and recount text. Okay, before we end students today's lesson, I have a little motivation for all of you. That is, study and keep learning until you succeed. Okay, maybe enough for today. Stay healthy at home and see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.